How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back as we are now going to take quite some time and we're going to book through August here in our UFC save. Glad you guys could join us as we have a lot of emails. And let's see just what it is. Douglas Lima booked, Curtis Millender booked. Adam Borix beat Cody Bollinger. Lorenz Larkin went to a draw. Andrei Koreshkov. I'm just like, these are all my shortlisted fighters that I kind of want to keep an eye on. None of them have any contracts that we can talk about right now. Darian Caldwell beat Sergio Pettis. Wow. AJ McKee won. That's good. Okay. So see, here's the thing. Gokhan Saki is getting talked to by KSW and won championship. If they offered him a lot more, okay, so he still wants to come with us. So that's not that terrible. All right, cool. Nothing we necessarily have to look at there. Of course, our next fight night is Poirier versus Hooker. There you can see in Arizona. So if this were real life, I would go to this fight card. I mean, look at it. A pretty stacked fight card, I do have to say so. Poirier versus Hooker. Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit. Wonderboy Thompson versus Ponzinibbio. Andrei Arlovsky. Michael Johnson on the card. Kunitskaya, who's always nice to look at. In the prelims, you have not the best prelims, but Ryan Span's on there, who's fighting this weekend. All right, so let's go ahead and see. You got a lot of regen fighters, but I'm not going to touch any of them. I'm going to just let them do whatever they want. They can sign wherever they want. The women regen fighters, I realize, are almost all going to sign for Invicta. Invicta, snatches them all up, straight out of the gate, which is awesome, because they'll technically be under my employ. I just won't have to actually sign them. See, this girl right here, Bristol Maivia, Rocky Maivia's daughter, coming out of England, so the flyweight. So she's more than likely going to get signed by Invicta, and I will have nothing to do with it. But the thing is, since Invicta is my child organization, see, this 0-0 girl, I did not sign, I did not touch. But she has some pretty decent stats on her. And if she ends up getting to 4-0, 5-0, oh, she's injured for a year, though. That sucks. Let's see. Is there a different girl that's... See, this girl right here. Average striking, average menace. But if she gets up to 6-0, I'll bring her in. And she already has a fight book, too. That's awesome. But I do want to set up Invicta. Let's change your schedule up. I want to, okay, there we go. So I set it to saturation. So what saturation means is that they're going to put on a fight card the moment they can. Despite even if the main event is not going to be a decent main event, they're going to just keep putting on fight cards. And the reason that I do that is so all these girls that have 0-0 as their record, they're just going to keep getting fights. And that's important because we want them all to develop, because we want the women's division to develop. And that means we need Invicta to put on as many fight cards as possible. And so that's good, but I won't be touching Invicta. I'm not deleting Invicta. I'm just not touching it. And we're not going to add any men's divisions to Invicta as well, despite me kind of wanting to. All right, so we're not touching Invicta, which means all these regen fighters are going to go wherever they like. And then if they get popular enough, if they win enough fights, then we'll take a look at them. Then we might consider bringing them back in. And Julia Budd is apparently the new #1 pound-for-pound fighter at the featherweight division. Oh, no, pound for pound in the world, actually. Wow. And she does not fight for us. That's very interesting. All right. So, I promised it. Let's go ahead and start it up. As you can see, we are booked all the way through the end of July. So now let's go ahead and book our next 2 pay-per-views, because this month, in August, we are going to have 2 pay-per-views, not just one. One of them is going to be in the UK in London. The second one, I am not 100% sure where I want to have it. But I think the best way to tell where we want to have it is to look at the title fights that we're going to be having. So let's go ahead and take a look at the fights. And of course, we know that the UK one, we're going to be having Valentina and Jojo Calderwood on it. But the main event of that card is going to be Justin Gaethje and Conor McGregor. That's going to be the main event for that UK card. Now, let's look at what other title fights we could potentially put on. We have John Jones versus Jan Blachowicz, Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Let's see. And then we have Amanda Nunes versus either Aspen Ladd or Felicia Spencer. You know what? And then Zhang versus Nama Yunus. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do now. I know what I'm gonna do now. So we are not gonna have just one, but two international pay-per-views in the month of August. The first, of course, as I promised, is going to be in London in the UK, but the second one is going to be in Brazil. It's going to be in Brazil, and we're going to have not one, but two title fights on that Brazil card. Amanda Nunes will be defending her title on that card, and we are also going to have Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa as the main event for that fight card. So UFC 252, Adesanya versus Costa. Or actually 253, I should say. UFC 252 is going to be McGregor versus Gaethje. All right. So week 2 of August, of course, on a Saturday. All right. This one is going to be advanced national marketing because it's CONOR. We want as many people to see it as possible. We're going to go all the way down to London, England. And we are going to drug test. All right, so week 2, August, major show, UFC 252 in London. All right, let's go ahead and do it. And then week 4 of August, Saturday, week 4 of August, UFC 253, major show. We'll go ahead and market this one heavily as well. This one is going to be in Brazil. All right, that should make us a decent amount of money. We will be drug testing, even though it's not mandatory in Brazil. All right, all good there, all good there. All right, so now, I think to keep in tradition with what we've been doing as kind of going on tour, so to speak. As we left New York, we go to London. Now, I think that week 1, we should be in Europe somewhere, so that way we're not kind of just going from there to London. So let's go ahead and see where we can go week 1 of August. That's somewhere in Europe. Nope, marketing level. Don't need to look at that. But because... So we'll have one ESPN Plus fight card, and then one ESPN straight up fight card, and we'll have the Europe one be ESPN Plus. All right, good there, and then this will be a throwaway show. And so let's go to the European area and see where we can host a show at. Definitely going to be somewhere close to England, obviously. So Scotland, Ireland, Wales, somewhere that's got a little bit higher lucrative than normal, because you want to be able to make a little bit of money. Let's see, Scandinavia, Poland, maybe Poland. No, that's all. Okay, let's see here then. So Poland's looking good so far. Netherlands, France, no, maybe Ireland, no. Scotland, Midland, we're just going back to England now. So let's go ahead and go to Poland. Of course, they've got a pretty good setup going on because they have KSW. And we will drug test there as well. But we are going to Poland. Now, let's see. Who is from Poland? Let's see. How many fighters do we have from Poland? And how many of them are available to fight? Nationality, Polish. So a decent chunk. A lot of them are currently scheduled to fight. Is there anyone notable? I mean, we have Blachowicz, but he's fighting John Jones. Young Jacek, of course, but she's fighting literally a fight in, I think, a couple weeks in game. But yeah, a lot of these Polish fighters are scheduled already. Gutowski scheduled, not scheduled. So I just kind of have to keep a mental note to myself to not schedule any Polish fighters. Or, I mean, I can schedule Polish fighters. It just has to be on this card. So that might be the first card that I schedule for. And then all the Brazilian fighters keep for the Brazilian card, and so on. So we'll go ahead and do that one in Poland. It'll be week 3, correct? No, week 1. All right, so Saturday in August, ESPN Plus. It will be a throwaway show. And it is in Poland. All right, it's good to go there. All right, and then week 3, we are going to have in Mexico. Mexico is going to get a fight card as we go from London to Mexico and then from Mexico to Brazil. So not as seamless a transition, but kind of a seamless transition. Mexico to Brazil, it's not super far away. So let's go ahead and do that. Week 3 in August on a Saturday, of course, and it's going to be a lesser show. This one is going to be on ESPN. And this one is going to be in Mexico. Now, which portion of Mexico? Whichever one's the most lucrative. Public perception is very low. That means not a lot of people are going to want to see it anyways. No direct impact on your shows. Okay. Then we'll just go to this place because it has no impact. Okay, cool. All right, so it looks like that's basically going to make it be in Mexico City. So we are all set to go there. Yes, please. All right, cool. So we have our month of August scheduled out. 2 pay-per-views, of course, 1 in London and 1 in Brazil. And then our 2 fight nights also scheduled. So now let's go ahead and get our main events scheduled first for all of these fight nights. And then we will go ahead and get the rest settled. So, of course, in Brazil, UFC 253, we have in the middleweight division, Israel Adesanya taking Paulo Costa. And even look at that. Even if it wasn't for the title, it would be a great main event. But, of course, this is going to be for the UFC middleweight title. Now it's high-level international. Great main event. Both these guys on hot streaks. A hometown fighter. Adesanya is favored, interestingly enough. And so let's go ahead and add it. In Brazil, of course. And then let's go ahead and get Amanda Nunes on there, because she will be fighting on this card no matter who it is against. All right, so let's go ahead and see. So at bantamweight, it looks like Aspen Ladd isn't ready yet, and she won't be ready for 12 days. That's okay. My only concern is whether or not Nunes will fight her, because I think she's at mid-level national, low-level international in Brazil. That's going to be tough. She may straight up... But see, the thing is, why? I don't know. It's tough because it seems like she would probably only fight someone like Ronda Rousey or Holly Holm. But she has to accept the fight. She absolutely has to. Because Felicia Spencer's not going to be any more popular. Like, she's low-level regional. And she's 26 days, so it's going to be for the Bantamweight Championship. All right, so to be announced for the Women's Bantamweight Championship. But it's not set to be defended. That's fine. All right, good. So those are 2 title fights for UFC 253. Let's go to UFC 252. And our main event in the lightweight division, Conor McGregor taking on Justin Gaethje. Uh-oh. Justin Gaethje is low-level regional in London. He's low-level national in America. Oh, jeez. No! Oh, no. Who's the most popular person? Joseph Duffy. Will he fight him? Oh, he won't even fight Joseph Duffy. Okay, so it looks like he's just going to be tough to deal with. So in Conor's case, oh crap, because I mean, there's no way he wouldn't fight Justin. What about Kevin Lee? He won't fight Kevin Lee. Okay. Okay. No. So just for this particular fight, we're gonna go, and also for the Amanda Nunes fight, because she might also not want to fight. We're gonna leave that on. All right. Lightweights. Because this Conor Gaethje fight absolutely has to happen. And it's a superb main event. So, come on. There's no way he wouldn't fight Gaethje anyways. Now, I wonder if I turn that back off, if it'll if he'll refuse to fight him. I wonder. Let's see. I mean, the fight's still on, so all right. Call it cheating if you want, but there's no way that Gaethje and Conor McGregor wouldn't agree to fight each other. So I don't agree with that. So oh well. Amanda Nunes, we might have to do that again. For the thing is, for title fights, I will 100% turn that on for, because that's non-negotiable. If you're the champion, you have to fight whoever your challenger is. So that is a little bit more realistic. But as far as just in game, for non-title fights, it doesn't matter. But there's no way that Gaethje and McGregor aren't fighting. Okay, let's see here. All right, so in Poland. Poland's different because we have to find out who's popular here. Who is the most popular fighter in Poland, male or female? Ooh, Alexander Gustafsson. Huh. Interesting. And Ozdemir's a close third, followed by Blachowicz. That sucks. Okay, so we have our main event. Let's just make sure and go to Mexico and make sure they're not the most popular there. All right. Oh, they are. And then Sosa. But Sosa would be on the Brazil card. Tim Kennedy, Barzola. These are weird names to be popular in Mexico. Huh. I wonder if we can change this around. We can. Okay, cool. So we're going to make the Mexico card the ESPN Plus card. And then the Poland card will be the ESPN card. Because it doesn't look like it would be very strong if we had it the other way around. All right, that's awesome. That's awesome that we can do that. And then this will be a lesser show. All right, cool. Looking good. All right. And so now for Poland. In the light heavyweight division, it will be Volkan Ozdemir taking on Alexander Gustafsson. All right, Sounds good. And for Ozdemir, if he wins that, that's a title shot for sure. And now in West Central Mexico, let's see what we can find. I mean, it might just have to be like a high ranking fight, and not necessarily anything that like the Mexicans like would like go and cheer for, just like so to speak. I mean Darren Till, but he's going to be on the UK card. What am I talking about? See, everyone's basically booked up. A Kevin Lee fight, maybe? How many Mexicans do we have? It's a very weird question to ask, but how many do we have? Dominic Cruz, maybe? Cruz versus Stamen? Because, see, now we are in a little bit of a pickle where all of our, ranked fight. Ooh, Alexa Grasso for sure. Mid-level regional only. Yikes. Oh, Carla Esparza maybe versus Gadella. There we go. Esparza versus Gadella. Or Esparza. Oh, no, we've already done Esparza versus Grasso. Gadella versus Grasso then? I'm not sure that would sell because Gadella, mid-level national, but where is she everywhere else? Mid-level regional. She'd be better used in any, like literally anywhere else. Esparza though? Maybe Esparza, Gadella then, it looks like. I think so. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm not sure if it'll be main event, but that looks like a good fight to make. It says this will be a superb main event. They've already fought before. What about Gadella Grasso? It says this would be a great event. Gadella's favored. Yeah, because this is a fresh matchup. And who would I have Esparza face? On Josh? Is she back soon? She's gone for 19 days. But I think I would have Esparza fight on Josh. I think that's what I would do. And then maybe if Andrade is back in time for that Brazil card, I'll have her fight Esparza on that card. Let's go ahead and do that. So Gadella versus Grasso. And it says it'll be a great main event. Huh? All right, never mind then. Esparza versus Gadella. Okay, so that's all of our. Well, that could be the main event, could it? Yeah, it'd be a superb main event apparently. Let's see who's our most popular fighter, as far as males go. John Jones and Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz. Will he fight Cody Stamann, though? If he will, I love Dominic Cruz. He won't. I figured as much. So, oh my God. Is he going to fight Jose Quinones because of this? No, he won't. Can he go up to featherweight, Dominic Cruz? There might be some featherweights we could have him. He can't. He can go all the way up to lightweight. Wow. Okay. All right, so let's have Dominic Cruz main event this card. But it's going to be, how far can it go? Bantamweight all the way up to lightweight. So Dominic Cruz will be fighting somebody. It's just, who is that somebody? So let's look at featherweight. Who do we have that's popular? Enrique Barzola. Alex Caceres. Ryan Hall? Will he fight Ryan Hall? Ryan Hall doesn't want to fight him. Gabriel Benitez in Mexico? He will do that. That's weird. And he'll agree to it, and so will Benitez, despite him being a massive underdog. This would kind of be just a fight to get Dominic Cruz back in there, though. But I don't like the fact that he doesn't want to fight anyone ranked. He won't fight Cody Stamann. I mean, Barzola, who's at least ranked. So he'll fight him, who's ranked at least. Alex Caceres, of course, he'll fight. So I'm thinking Barzola or Benitez. Benitez at least is Mexican. And because of that, it looks like it'll be a better main event. This guy, I'm thinking, how do you even have a job, sir? I watched you get demolished, and we can't fire you while we're doing this. Ho Choi? No, he doesn't want to fight him. Andre Fili? Nope. So it's either Barzola or Benitez. So let's take a look at lightweight. So we have Dariush. Kevin Lee. Ooh. This could be interesting, actually. Because, okay, hold on. Kevin Lee is coming off a win over Makhachev. But I'd say adding to his resume by beating Dominic Cruz would be pretty interesting. He can weight 150 to 170. Will he fight Kevin Lee? He will. Awesome. Okay, cool. Kevin Lee is heavily favored, too. So this would be kind of a FU to Dominic Cruz for not wanting to fight who we want him to fight. And it could be a good chance for Kevin Lee to get his popularity up, step his name up. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So Dominic Cruz versus Kevin Lee. That's strange, but hey, we'll do it. And Kevin Lee's only 2 inches taller than him, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. All right. Let me go ahead and connect my laptop to a charger so it doesn't die on me here. You probably heard that. Let me see. How many more frames dropped? Doesn't look like it. That's good. All right. Booking the rest of these fight cards. This is going to be the tricky part because we have to make sure we don't book any Mexicans on the non-Mexican card, any Polish people on the non-Polish card. So we're just going to go ahead and get right to it here in Poland. Or actually, let's go ahead and book our pay-per-views first. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. The main cards first, of course. So let's do Brazil first because that'll probably be a little bit easier. Search. Hometown fighter, yes. Okay, so we do have a lot of Brazilians, which means that we have a lot of choices. Now, Thiago Santos, would he be back? He would be back, out injured, 56 days, but it says he would be back in time. Thiago Santos. Would Glover Teixeira be back in time? It says he would. Huh. Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira. Has he already fought him? He has not. Interesting. Okay. So Thiago Santos versus Glover Teixeira. What was Glover Teixeira's loss? To Shogun, who was somehow not ranked higher than him. Interesting. Okay. Well, then in that case, when's Shogun back? 26 days. Will that give him enough time? It should. It should. All right, cool. So this is where I kind of have to be careful about booking because I have to keep into consideration the people that are coming back from fights as well. And so right now, I'm going to be booking Thiago Santos versus Shogun Rua. But because Shogun isn't ready yet, all I can do is this. Thiago Santos, and then go down to be announced. And then I can go into my handy-dandy notebook, and I can put down this. UFC 253. Thiago Santos versus Shogun Rua. Okay. So that puts in my head, okay, this is a fight that you need to book. All right, so that's 3 fights down, and that looks like a pretty good card already. Remember, we also need to remember to put Aspen Ladd in there, and if Nunes rejects Aspen Ladd, that fight for the title, I mean, I'm just gonna override it. Okay, let's see. Jacare. Let's see. Jacare, Neto, Rodolfo, Muniz, Guimarães, Silva, Turman. Okay, so Jacare is interesting, but I think I was going to do Jacare versus Till in England. He's coming off a loss. Till's coming off a win. Yeah. Yeah, so I'd rather do the Till fight then. Although, he's high-level national here in Brazil, and Till's only low-level national in the British Isles. And Till is mid-level regional here. This says this would be a strong main event. So let's go to the London card. I'd imagine it'll still be a decent fight for this. And why is it saying that Darren Till isn't a hometown fighter here? We're literally in... Is it because it's not London? Oh my god. Oh, it's because he's not from London. That's why. Okay, so then I have to keep in my mind that it's also, English fighters, not just London fighters that are going to show up when it put hometown fighters. That's a load of bull, but oh well. Where would that even be considered? London, as far as like in game. Ugh. Okay, so. Okay. I'll just do it later. But yeah, we'll put that on that card, and it'll also be on pay-per-view, so that's better for him anyways. Oh, well, this would be on pay-per-view anyways. But it looks like this card will not, necessarily need it. Okay, low-level national, that's pretty good. Low-level national. Oh, but was that Moicano? Is he low-level national? He is. Okay, Moicano might be one we put on there. No. Low-level national. Thomas Almeida is low-level national. Mateus Nicolau. No. And we are officially at no. Okay, so it looks like Alcantara at bantamweight. It says he's more popular. Let's see. These are all okay. So these are all the most popular fighters, period, in this area. And over here's all the hometown fighters. Okay, so Leonardo Santos. It looks like we should give a fight to him here. So Moicano. Moicano and Leonardo Santos are the other two that I'm going to give a main card fight to here. Moicano? Is he at lightweight now? He is? Huh. Okay. So now let's find an even fight for him. Dariush? Ooh, Fajeda. It says this would be a prelim fight. Yikes. This would just make it onto the main show, Dariush. Alright, let's go ahead and do this one since it says that it would make it onto the show, even just barely. Okay. And then who is the other one? Leonardo Santos. It says this would be a potential main event. This would be a decent main event. And it looks like a more even fight as well. Potential main event. I'm looking for fights that are even and that are also, a good showing. It says main card fight for all these. Potential main event, decent main event, potential main event. So this looks like it'd be the most even fight. It would get Leonardo Santos the most test, the biggest test. But this says it would be potential. This is decent. So this would be a better fight to do either way. All right, so Stung Gun Dong Yun Kim versus Leonardo Santos. And it's going to go like that. All right, so we have our main card booked. All we have to remember is that Aspen Ladd is in this co-main event. Thiago Santos versus Shogun Hua. And then Leonardo Santos, Dong Yun Kim. And then Moicano versus Beneil Dariush. All right. So that is the Brazil card booked. Now let's go to London. And this is going to mess me up because I need to remember that it's all Englishmen. Or all UK fighters for that matter. And so let's go to middleweight. Marvin Vettori is apparently more popular than Darren Till. That's sad. This says it would be a main show fight, but not a main event. Okay. All right, so Till versus Sosa. And so now let's go ahead and see who are the most popular fighters here. If it's not a bunch of UK fighters, that would be very, very sad. All right, so Stephen Ray, low-level national. Jakashi. A lot of these guys, though, aren't on winning streaks or anything like that. Which is very upsetting. Come on, you guys got to represent over here, England. All right, so who's somebody on a win? Okay, so Mark Jakashi. So Jakashi at lightweight. Let's take a look at the women, though. I said let's take a look at the women, though. Oh, we can just do it this way so it's not as tough. High-level national, Paige Van Zandt. Oh, jeez. They love you in the UK, Paige. Well, I mean, okay. Oh, also, hold on. It's good that she's low-level national. It's very good. Because, I don't know why we forgot, but this is also on the main card. And we might have to force Valentina to do this fight. Women's flyweight for the title. It says it's just a main card fight, and she'll do it. Awesome. Cool. And it's apparently a really even fight. I don't get that. I feel like Valentina should be heavily favored in that. Okay? So all of a sudden we have two more main card fights to book. But I mean, it looks like Paige Van Zandt might be on the main card. Uh-oh. We're going to trigger some people. Put her up against someone like Molly McCann. Oh, there we go. So we give the people what they want to see. But I mean, at least we throw a homebody in there like Molly McCann, and she doesn't want to fight Molly McCann. You know, see, this is the part that sucks because I don't want to force everyone to do fights that they don't want to do. And it's not necessarily like I'm going to be doing anything like egregious, anyways. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it at that. The only thing that I'm curious about is if. Okay. So if Alexis Davis isn't on here. Okay. So that's a good sign. So it won't show me fighters who are obviously still recovering. Okay, so Molly McCann's favored, which is weird, but I mean, oh well. Paige Van Zant's very popular, so that'll do well for the show overall. Till versus Sosa will open the show, so that way it's not, second fiddle to. Alright, so we'll open the show, so that way it's not second fiddle to them. But then we have one more fight. Low level regional. Low level regional. Okay. So let's see here. Stevie Ray. So Jakashi. Jakashi versus Ray. Will anything make it like a potential main event like this would? So that guy's Polish, so I want to keep him for the Polish card. Main show fight. Just main show. Main show fight. Just main show, main show, main show, main show. So nothing that would make it a potential main event other than that guy who's Polish, but I want to keep him. So let's go ahead and do Jakashi versus Ray. Okay. It looks like we are good. If you're an Englishman or if you're someone from the UK, this looks like a card that I think you would buy. Simply because you have Calderwood who's fighting for the title. You have McCann in there fighting against Paige Van Zant. A good battle between two Englishmen and Jakashi and Ray. And then you have Till versus Sosa. These bitches love Sosa. Okay, cool. So that's that one scheduled. And then we got the other pay-per-view scheduled as well. And so now let's take a look at the rankings and see what other fights we can book on the main cards of the other ones. So only two guys at heavyweight who haven't been scheduled. That is not going to happen for a while. Alexachuk. Let's find something for Alexachuk to do. He's Polish, right? All right, cool. So let's go ahead and go straight. Oh, we still need to... where are we at here? Oh, we're right here. Okay, so Alexachuk. Light heavyweight. Kutalaba. Something that would be at least scraping onto the main show. Oh, this guy's 0-0. What is he doing here? All right, so it looks like it's going to be Alexachuk versus Kutalaba. And he's a big underdog, and he's number 16, so doesn't bode well for him, but he's going to have to do it. All right, so now hometown fighters on. Let's go take a look at the rankings again. So Akhmedov, Kennedy, and Cummings. Martin. Taisimov, Tamer, Kabalov, Close, TJ Grant, and Fajeda. Fajeda will put on the undercard of the Brazil show, so don't worry about him. Calvin Kattar, Feely, Makwan Amirkhani. Amirkhani, I feel like, should be on the undercard of the UK show. Mike Grundy, he's from the UK as well, isn't he? He is. So he'll be there. Barzola, I feel he'll be on the undercard of the Brazil show. Calvin Kattar and Feely, though. So Kattar versus Feely. Okay. So let's forget about hometown fighters for a second. Let's go by ranking. This says it would be best suited to the prelims. So I'm considering just putting this on the prelims of a pay-per-view then. And they fought before. Okay. Oh, I can just switch up. Oh, that's awesome. See, I did not know that I can do that. In all the time that I've been playing and all the time that I've been booking, I did not know that I could just put them on a card like this. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so McGregor versus Gaethje on the prelims. Nope, not you. Okay, that's awesome. They fought before. Calvin Kattar won, but I feel like a good 3 years later is a decent time for them to fight again. Unless, no, Amir Khan is going to be on the English one, so that's okay. Probably against Grundy, because he's ranked 2. Okay, that's awesome. So then it just puts him right there. Oh, see, that's cool. I did not even realize that. You learn new things every day, guys. You learn new things every day. Okay, so I don't even have to exit out. I can just go to add fight and then look at the rankings here. See, that's cool. I didn't even know that. Amir Khani. Let's find something for Amir Khani to do now. Okay, so Amir Khani. I think we're going to put him against Grundy, right? See, and that's awesome. This says potential main event. Potential main events. Were any of those other ones just main card on the McGregor Gaethje? So let's put that on the main card of McGregor Gaethje for now. Oh, hold on. Never mind. It says prelims because we switched to McGregor Gaethje. So it would have been a main card fight for that, but for this one, it's a prelim, which makes a little bit more sense. Okay. Gotcha. And then we go over there, take a look, and there it is. All right, cool. Okay, so back to the rankings. And so let's just go from the beginning. So Sakai Pavlovich, we can put on the Polish card. Sakai, is he Japanese or is he Brazilian? He's Brazilian. So Sakai on the Brazilian card. Let's find something for you. Okay. By ranking. So now let's just find him someone who's on a winning streak of some sort that gives him a decent fight. Like this guy, Ante Delija. Looks to give him a pretty decent fight. Anybody closer? Dmitry Sosnovsky. Yeah, let's do this. Even fight. Guy's on a winning streak. Won his only fight in the UFC. We'll go ahead and do that. Oh, hold on. He's Russian. Not Polish, Russian. So that's okay. Okay. Let's see. Who do we have? We have Pavlovich, who's Russian, but we're gonna put on the Polish card, which is Ozdemir Gustafsson. He's unknown though. Emelianenko. We could debut him this way. Nah, Emelianenko we would have to save for a Russian card. Because how popular is he in Russia? Only low-level national? Then we can afford to use him here. It's close enough. And he's the most popular here as well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. It probably won't be a main card match anyways. We'll probably demote that to a prelim, but just so that way I'm making sure he gets something scheduled. Right. Ankalaev. Where are you at? Oh, there you go. Alright, find him something even that hasn't been done before. Like this right here, maybe. Ooh, Alonzo Menafield. Devin Clark. Anybody? Serbian, Russian. Ukraine? No. Another Russian. Okay, what's somebody who's like around 100-ish? And Tigilov. We'll do this one in Poland. And it says a prelim. So that's where we'll put it. We need a couple more really strong fights for the Polish card. Okay, everyone's booked up or something at light heavyweight. Middleweight, Tim Kennedy, Akhmedov, Cummings. I feel like a combination of any of those three would be decent for a main card showing. All right, so decent main event in Poland, prelims. Decent main event. He just defeated Ian Heinisch. So maybe Akhmedov should be fighting someone else. And Heinisch is up there. So maybe Akhmedov should be fighting someone like Hall or Shabazian. That's my immediate thought. Considering he's coming off a win over this guy, Heinisch, who's number 14. Or maybe David Branch once he's ready. Or Tavares or Hermanson. Somebody up here Akhmedov should be fighting. But Tim Kennedy and Cummings we can do right now. And it says decent main event. They fought but like 11 years ago, so that's fine. And that can be on the main card of that one. All right. So Akhmedov we're holding off on. So okay, let me put that down. versus top 20. Middleweight. Okay. Keeping that in mind. Looks good. All right. Anthony Rocco Martin at welterweight. Bahadur Zada. Anything even that gives me a decent fight? No, it doesn't look like it. Mickey Gall? Anything even? Brian Barberena? No. Because he's very non-popular. Just scraping onto the main show. Just said it would be a main show fight. Guy from the Netherlands. Why is Martin apparently like rocking everybody? I don't get that. This guy's from Poland, Fabinski. I'm not sure if let's go and do this one. But we'll put it on an undercard for one of those pay-per-views. Probably. Actually, you know what? No. Because they're American fighters. I don't think anyone's going to really want to see the American fighters anywhere we go. That's the thing that sucks. And he's on a losing streak, so there's no reason you should really be fighting him. Why is Martin so heavily favored against everybody, though? Is he just a god, apparently, and I just don't know it? Prelims, Tim Means. See, none of these people are actually... And they've already fought. Mickey Gall coming out. See, he's coming off a win, though. This would be a main show fight, at least. Let's go and do this one. It's in Poland, so why not? This guy's coming off a win anyways. Give him a little bit of a chance, you know? Even though he's a big underdog, we'll do it. And so we have one more fight to book up here on the main card of the Polish show. All right, Carlos Diego Ferreira, we need to put in Brazil. Maybe TJ Grant. So it looks like TJ Grant would be good. It says it would be a main show fight. Oh, this is for Ozdemir Gustafsson, though. Adesanya versus Costa. Yeah, it says prelims. He last defeated Anthony Pettis. But, I mean, this would be a pretty good fight for TJ Grant as well, getting back into things. Everyone's booked up anyway, so he needs to find something to do. So let's go ahead and do this. Ooh, did I just put that on the main show, though? I did. Okay, fix that. Remember, this episode's going to be a tad bit longer than the rest. Taisimov. So I'm sure these four guys should be able to fight in some capacity. Tamer, I think we can do on the Polish show. Let's see if we can do that. Decent main events. But is it a closer fighter between any of them? It's a strong main event for this one. Let's go and do this one. All right, so Tamer versus Kabalov in Poland. Says it'll be a strong main event. Did it really say to be a strong main event? See, I'm not liking that card, but the Ozdemir Gustafsson fight makes up for it. Oh well. It is what it is sometimes. But you know, the Polish fighters, when we add them onto this card, they might actually make up some of that. And one might actually be like a co-main event, so you never know. All right, let's go ahead and see here. What else do we have going on? All right, Tysonov, Jakar Close, maybe? And yeah, we can do that. This says it would be a great main event in Mexico. So let's go ahead and put this on the Mexico card then. All right. So lightweight looks like it's good. Let's go to the women. Let's look at featherweight. Barzola, we know for a fact, is either on the Mexico card or undercarding on the Brazil pay-per-view. Let's see. He's the only ranked guy, so let's just find him someone that gives him a good showing, who's coming off a win. Alex Caceres, maybe? Says it would be a great main event. Strong main event, strong main event. Chaz Skelly. Charles Rosa coming off a win. Derek Minner coming off a loss. Du Ho Choi coming off a loss. Still would be a good main event, apparently. Nah, he's coming off a loss, though. Geraldo de Freitas. Great main event, apparently. Let's go ahead and put this on the Mexico card. Can't use all the Brazilians in Brazil, sadly. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, let's go to the women, get some of the women's fights going. Megan Anderson. Let's have her fight Daria Ibragimova. What about Ioni? Is she from Poland or where's she from? She's from France. So let's have that on the Poland card. Megan Anderson versus Ioni. Yikes. It does not look like that would be an even fight. But really, none of these fights would be. She's coming off a loss in Bellator. That's tough. Yikes. These guys are both low-level regional. I'll hold off on that just because they're not really well known, obviously. Julia Avila, is she Mexican? Oklahoma, but she has a Mexican last name, so we probably could use her. So who did she beat? Pani Kianzad. Where is she? She's around 19th. So that sucks that we'll probably have to put her up against someone else. Vanessa Mello, Martina Czech, who's Polish. Vanessa Melo, who's Brazilian. So let's go ahead and do Avila versus Melo in Brazil. Ooh, Aldana. Aldana can fight somebody? Medical suspension? Coming off a loss? Ooh. Let's do this. Let's do this. And it looks like it'd make a good... It says a good main event. Sparsa Gadella says it'd be a superb main event. Go ahead and leave it there. So now one more fight apparently for the Mexican card. And then the other two ladies don't necessarily need a book right now. Alright, Maya Lee Montana de Rosa. What did Maya last do? She's Brazilian, so we could probably put her on the Brazilian card. Texas. Montana versus Maya? In Brazil? No, Montana versus Maya is somewhere else. Said it'd be a decent main event in Mexico. In Brazil, it'll probably be an undercard fight, so let's go put this on the Mexico card. Great main events. Great main events. Potential main event. I thought it was a great main event for a second. Or was that elsewhere? Okay. Okay. So, conditionally, we have the Mexico card done and the Polish card done. But, I don't know. Let's see what else we can come up with here. Andrea Lee, coming off a loss to Lauren Murphy, who's currently at number 10. So let's have her fight one of these people. Someone like Barella. Where are you from? You're Italian, are you not? Yep, you're Italian. You lost to Montana de la Rosa. Jillian Robertson, are you coming on a win? You're coming off a loss to Macy Barber, so you shouldn't be fighting someone on the up here. Vanessa Porto, coming off a win. So let's do Porto versus Lee. Says it'd be a main show fight, but we're not going to do that here. We're going to do that in Brazil on the prelims. It looks good. Okay. Take a look here at the rankings once again. Shevchenko. I'm looking for people who I necessarily have to give people fights. And that's basically someone in the top 10 or notable names. And the only notable other name that I see is Shevchenko. I would probably want to put her on the same fight card as her sister. Grasso we need to find a fight for. And Grasso is going to be on the main card in Mexico. Shevchenko and Grasso. So Grasso, can she fight Randa Marcos? That's his great main event. They've already fought apparently. So great main event, strong main events. Strong. Any other low-level nationals? No. Lost to Brianna Van Buren. Drew with Cynthia Calvillo. Lost to Claudia Gadella. Strong main event. This looks pretty good. Especially considering Ribas deserves a bigger step up after being 4-0. I think this is good. Strong main event. Grasso gets on the main card. So, Maya versus Montana. You can go down. And then we have this going on for us now. Wow, 3 women's fights on the main card of their show. That's pretty wild. Cruz versus Leah is the main event. Who would have ever thought, huh? But apparently, Esparza and Gadella is even better. Wow. Low-level national versus mid-level regional. I mean, sure. Why not? Let's do it. Low-level international, that's great. And I mean, it's kind of even more of an FU to Dominic Cruz for refusing to fight the other time. For refusing to fight Cody Stamann, who we still do need to find a fight for. And it's probably going to have to end up being Nathaniel Wood or Douglas Silva de Andrade. And in somebody else's home court. So let's see just where he's going to fight. Because I don't think we have to do... Oh, Shevchenko, that's right. Shevchenko. At flyweight, is she? Yep. Alright, so flyweight for Shevchenko. Who can she fight? Is she coming off a win? I think she's coming off a loss. No, she beat Lucy Pudilova. So maybe one of these two. Let's do the Barella fight in England on the undercard. Best suited to the prelims, I would agree. Oh, there we go. Looks to be a pretty even fight as well. We love to see that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to just make sure all the ranked fighters are fighting, have something going on. All the ranked fighters or the notable names. So there's no real notable names, so everyone else can kind of just wait until something comes their way. So I think I'm done looking through them. Megan Anderson, mid-level regional. See, I don't even really need to find something for her right now. Flyweights. These guys, I need to make sure I book, but there are no real notable names that I need to book. Bontorin, I can book right now, but I'm pretty sure he's Brazilian. Yep. But I know for a fact he's going to be on the undercard, though. So let's go ahead and do that. Bontorin versus Bagutinov. Let's go ahead and do that. On the undercard of Adesanya Costa. Right. Let's see. So top 10's at least taken care of. Any notable names that I'm missing out on? Any Brazilians maybe? Espinosa? No, you're New Mexican. Alex Perez? No. Matthews Nicolau? Yeah. So Nicolau at flyweight. Is he coming off a win or a loss? Coming off a loss. So maybe Bruno Acevedo, who's also Brazilian. Let's go ahead and do this. Just kind of trying to get as many people, fights in their home country as possible. Even if they aren't necessarily close, like close fights. Like minus 500, that's okay. You're still kind of pushing it, but nothing that's too terrible. All right, cool. So that's everyone that's potentially anything. Cody Stamann versus either Nathaniel Wood or Douglas Silva on Josh, and then we can book the other person. So Stamann. Which one's closer fight? It says either one is going to be pretty heavy. And so since I kind of want to protect Nathaniel Wood a little bit, let's go ahead and book him against Douglas Silva on the prelims of the Brazil fight, of the Brazil card. All right, cool. Cool. Let's see what other ranked fighters we have here. Of course, Nathaniel Wood. Let's go ahead and take care of that now. Let's see. Who gives him a pretty even fight? Ooh, Brett Johns. And he's from the UK. Let's go ahead and do this. And it says it's a prelim. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, featherweight we're good. Lightweight's good. Welterweight's good. Middleweight's Akhmedov, but we're saving him. Light heavyweight's good. Heavyweight is good. I think we're good as far as ranked fighters. They're all booked up. Let's see here. Other than flyweight, but flyweight's kind of the same situation as the women's fighters at this point. And no one is needing a hometown fight or anything like that. So we're good for that right now. So as of right now, everything is conditionally done as far as main cards and hometown, or not hometown fighters, but making sure the ranked fighters have fights. So now let's go ahead and go into Poland and see our hometown fighters, and we need 6 more fights to book up. All right. So let's go ahead and check the women first of all. Okay, Nedjwiedz in the flyweight division. Says that would be a pretty even fight. That would as well. As would that. Jessica Rose Clark looks like the most even fight. Melinda Fabian, also a European fighter. Sabina Mazo. This looks like the most even fight so far. All right, let's go ahead and do Sabina Mazo versus Nedjwiedz. All right. Okay. Martina Cech versus Edion Gomez. Looks like the fight to make. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Polish fighters, but in heavyweight we have 2. So we can probably just book these guys against each other. Although it's a big ask. Although he's coming off a loss. Low-level regional anyways, so no. What about you, Procneo? Low-level regional, not worth it. Middleweight, low-level regional. Swiatek, low-level regional. Low-level national. Okay, so Gamrot. Let's find him a pretty even fight. So, Davi Ramos. Rick Glenn. I'm thinking Rick Glenn, and it's a strong main event. So we're going to put this on the main card. High level national. This is barely making it onto the main show. So again, put that down there. That's barely making it onto the main show. That's barely making it onto the main show. That's his decent main event. That's a strong mid-level national. I think this was high-level national, right? It was. Mid-level international. Okay. Okay. So we're good there. Any other Polish fighters that are not just low-level regional? No. Okay. So we have a couple more. Let's see who we want to use, though. David Smilowski is out injured for 29 days, so we'll hold out on him. Swiatek. Welterweight division. Looks like he's pretty trash, if I do say so myself. Anyone he fights, he's going to get demolished by, apparently. Christian Savoy looks to be the most even fight, so we probably want to do that one. Brock Weaver. So far, Christian Savoy. Yikes. Okay, so it's looking like Christian Savoy, but since we're not necessarily trying to build this kid up in at all, we can avoid booking him for now. So these guys, I'm sure. So like Bartosinski and Piachota, who's 5-0, or no, Gladkovic, both undefeated. So Bartinsky and all right, cool. So we'll go ahead and do this one: 6-0 versus 5-0. Two boys going at it. How long have you been streaming? I've been streaming now for about a good 2 hours. I'd say I've gotten a good. Well, I already I streamed one fight card, and now I'm just kind of booking up through the entirety of August, and I'm going to be streaming until I finish booking the entire month of August. So if you want to see what we've got going on so far, we've booked 4 fight cards. And the first one is in Poland, and the main event is Volkan Ozdemir versus Alexander Gustafsson. And I'm trying to work out the kinks over like who I want to be on the main card and who I want to be on the prelims. So like this card is going on the prelims. Second card of the month is UFC 252 McGregor versus Gaethje, and the main card of this one is pretty solid already. So McGregor Gaethje in the main event, and then Shevchenko versus Calderwood in the co-main. Paige Van Zandt versus Molly McCann. For whatever reason, they love Paige Van Zandt over in England. Mark Jakashi versus Stephen Ray, and then Darren Till versus Jacare Sosa. All right. We have a ESPN Plus fight card in Mexico. Main event is Carla Esparza versus Claudia Gadelha, and the reason for that is the fans apparently want to see the Esparza Gadelha match. As you can see, superb main event, low level international. The fans would much rather see that fight than Dominic Cruz versus Kevin Lee at lightweight. The reason Dominic Cruz is fighting at lightweight is because he refused to fight anyone in the bantamweight division, literally anybody. So I kind of just changed up his weight class to lightweight, which he can fight at. See, as you can see, can fight 135 to 155 pounds, so he can fight at lightweight. Only an inch shorter than Kevin Lee, so it's not like it's a super huge disadvantage for him. He wanted to fight Kevin Lee, or not wanted to, but he would fight Kevin Lee. So I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and do this fight, even though he's a huge underdog against Kevin Lee. But that says only mid-level national draw. So it says great main event, but the other one's superb. So that one's Esparza versus Gadella. That's gonna be their main event, and as such, we'll go ahead and change the name of the card. Also got Alexa Grasso, Amanda Ribas, Barzola de Freitas, Tysimov Close, and then Irene Aldana versus Julia Avila. All right, and then our other pay-per-view, we have two pay-per-views in the month of August, is UFC 253 Adesanya versus Costa. That's going to be in Brazil. We, of course, have Adesanya versus Costa, but we also have another title fight on that card. It's for the Bantamweight Championship, and it's Amanda Nunes, and it says to be announced, but it's going to be Aspen Ladd, who she's fighting for the title. So she'll be defending her title in Brazil, and Costa's fighting for the title in Brazil. And then we have Thiago Santos, who will be fighting against Shogun Hua at the light heavyweight division. Leonardo Santos versus Stun Gun Kim. And then Moicano versus Beneil Dariush. So pretty good main cards. I would say the weakest one is probably this Polish card. And that's mainly just because the Polish fighters don't necessarily have the biggest draw, not even in Poland. So like Mateusz Gamrot versus Rick Glenn, I highly doubt anybody really knows who they are. But that Ozdemir Gustafsson fight will make the card. It definitely will. But I mean, looking at this, like Cruz versus Lee, like this looks, I don't know. But this is what we've decided to do. So now we're kind of just going through and booking like prelims and trying to find like hometown fighters to put on these cards and where they make sense and things of that nature. So looking through the rest of the Polish card, how many more prelims do we have? We have two more prelims to book up. And Piachota ends up becoming a champion in my other UFC save, funny enough. And Blachowicz, of course, we have plans for. Wieczorek. So let's see. Prochnio. No, you're on a losing streak. I don't really want to worry about you right now. Kevin Sklafarski. Let's find something for you to do, young man. Looks like this would be pretty even. See, anything within the 100s. 200, 240. Greg Hardy. Don'Tale Mays. Let's go ahead and do this one. Get a big heavyweight out there. All right, and now one more fight. Do I want to do with Shorek? So he's the first one I'd rather do. Piachota. Let's go do Piachota. Let's do the other guy. Let's do Wieczorek. Get some more heavyweight fights going. Because he looks to be a pretty good prospect, actually. Nascimento. Brazilian fighter. Anybody else that gives him a good test? Malakin, he's Russian. Let's go ahead and do Malakin. All right. Okay, so the main card is pretty see, I don't like the main card for this one, but it's going to have to do. It's going to have to do. And then the prelims. Let's move the prelims around. Like this Rocco Martin fight, I think will be the featured prelim. The rest of these guys I really don't know much about. Okay, so move that up over that one and that one. I'd say that. And that's. Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. All right, so now London. Let's do the Mexico card first. Because I'm not sure there's going to be very many. Okay. So we're looking through all the Mexicans now that we currently have that are available to fight. And there doesn't look to be very many, if any at all. But I have to keep in mind, it's not just... I have to look for all the Mexicans. Not just because it's currently right now set to West Central Mexico, so it's only going to include people who are from, like Mexico City. So I have to look through and like really, really look. So anybody with a Mexican name or Mexican sounding name, Juan Espino, I could put him on the card just because he has a like a Mexican sounding name. People would probably cheer for him. All right, anyone from Mexico or anywhere in Central America for that matter. This guy needs to be sent down before I accidentally book him. Brazil, Dominican Republic, Oscar Sosa. So Sosa maybe. Sanchez. Soriano, no. There's not. There's no Mexicans that are available to fight. It's not necessarily the end of the world. There we go. Alvaro Herrera at welterweight. We'll just go ahead and reset this. All right, so who can you fight? That's a pretty even fight. All right, let's see. Looks like this would be an even fight for him. That would kind of favor him a little bit. Anything in the 100s? Brock Weaver. That'd be interesting. I like this. This guy's also just coming off a fight too, so good showing for him. Let's go ahead and do this. Alvaro Herrera versus Brock Weaver. It says potential main event, so let's see the main card and see what's going down. Potential main event. It's a little bit better than that, so we'll go ahead and leave that there. Let's see, any other Mexicans? Good. Nope, not in welterweight. Alex Munoz. It's a Mexican sounding name. Munoz Morales, maybe? Acevedo, Dominican Republic. There we go, Rodrigo Vargas. Let's see. Even fight for you, sir. Let's see what we can find. Versus Claudio Puelles. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Alrighty, 4 more fights, as a matter of fact. Let's do Reinaldo Acevedo. Is the even fight with Munoz? It is not. Wow, okay. In that case, let's find someone for Munoz to fight because it looks like he might be a little bit better than him. Christos Giagos. Looks to be a very even fight. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Put that one above that one, but not there. So 3 more fights. Let's go down to the women, see if there's anybody over there. Marina Rodno, Brazilian. Okay, no one there. No. Let's see. No. Flyweight Jordan Espinosa, maybe. Alex Perez? Espinosa versus Perez? Oh, they've already fought. Let's find something for Perez then, since he's coming off the win. Jared Brooks, there we go. All right, 2 more fights. See if we can find any. I think Teco Quinones is up here. Mario Batista. There we go. Quinones. Let's see who's an even fight with you, sir. Even though you might be leaving soon because you're not very good. Miles Johns. Mauro Mastromarini. All right, cool. All right, guy from Argentina as well. Okay, one more fight to go. Chris Gutierrez. Enrique Briones. All right. Let's see who gives you an even fight. Chris Gutierrez. All right, cool. All right, cool. So we have the prelims booked for the Mexico card as well. A lot of guys with either Mexican descents or Mexican sounding names. All right. So now let's book the rest of the London card. So 10 prelims, all featuring some UK fighters. We have 6 more to fill out, so that's pretty good. All right, so first let's search by the hometown fighter because these are going to be all guys like straight up from London. And so let's see if there are any. So Chai Lewis Perry is 1. All right, Jorgen De Castro looks good. All right, how many else? Darren Stewart's. All right, love you, Mr. Stewart. Let's find you someone to dance with. Trevor Smith, hot sauce. Let's do it. Welterweight, no. Lightweight, Nad Narimani. Yancy Medeiros. Wow, that'd be a pretty big fight for him. Thiago Moises. That looks like the most even fight so far. Mark Madsen. Let's do this one. Both are coming off a win. Madsen needing a big win. And now it looks like 3 more fights to book here. Okay. So now let's just go ahead and look through all of our English fighters. I wish there was a way that we could that sucks. That we can't preparation time available, yeah. Search? No. Okay. I wish there was a way we could filter it out by English fighters and things like that. Let's just go ahead and look through the catchweight and search for the most popular Englishman or UK fighter. Sorted by popularity, of course. By reputation. All right, Marvin Vettori, Joseph Duffy. So Vettori, Duffy, and Grant. Ooh, Bradley Scott. So Vettori I'll save for later. So Duffy, Grant, Scott. Oh, all these other Englishmen that are going to go without fighting here. That's tough. So Duffy, Grant. Duffy, Grant, and Roberts. All right, so Grant, let's find you someone to fight. Chris Holdsworth. These guys have already fought. Michael Wooten. Ooh, guy from England. Let's go and do this. Another guy from England. Oh, sorry. Ooh, Patty Batty Pimblett, though. Mm. Sucks that we won't be able to get him on the card. Of course, there's too many UK fighters. That's the only part that really sucks. Joseph Duffy. Let's see if we can get like these guys against other UK fighters. John McDessie, no. Anybody else from the UK? Nope. No. Okay, so what's the most even fight for you then? John McDessie, Alan Patrick. Let's go and do Alan Patrick. Yeah, Alan Patrick. All right, and then one more. Danny Roberts. Sheldon Westcott. Anyone from around here? Nicholas Dalby, maybe? Ashley Reese. Let's go ahead and do this one instead. All right. All right. So now the London card is booked up. So that's right. See, that goes above that one. I'd say that goes above that one. I'd say that one and that one. That one and that. I'm just moving up the prelim. It doesn't necessarily matter, but it's just kind of preference thing that I like to do, setting up how much these matter essentially. Danny Roberts, put that one above there and above her as well. Yeah, and above that one. Okay, that's good. That's good. Cool. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3 of these fight cards fully booked up. The only one left to go is the Brazil card, and it looks like we only need to book 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. So let's go ahead and do so. And we're going to have a lot of hometown fighters, though, so we're just going to use up the most popular ones. Use up. That seems like a dirty word. See if we can book a female, a woman fighter though. Vivian Pereira. Okay, so a women's strawweight. Pereira versus Sosa. She's coming off a loss. Any other Brazilians? Janessa Mirandin. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Janessa Mirandin because they're both Brazilian, so that's pretty good. Alrighty, and then who are the most popular 2 males that we have left to go? Alright. So Davi Ramos, someone who's on a win. Davi Ramos and Warley Alves. Anybody that I want to override that with? No, not necessarily. Alright, so Darley Ramos and Warley Alves. Welterweight and lightweight. Let's go and do this one then. Yeah, pretty even fight. Both Brazilian. I like it. Warley Alves and Claudio Henrique da Silva. Oh, and we actually have 2 more fights to go. Love it, love it, love it. And then at lightweights, Davi Ramos. Bobby Green. Saryukian. Let's see. Anybody else give you a better fight? No, Saryukian. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and do it. Ramos versus Sarukian. And then one more Brazilian. Oh, hockey. Glad you can join. I've been streaming for about a good 2.5 hours. I'm booking the entirety of August right now. And I'm going to go over all of the fight cards, of course, after I'm done. Literally the last fight that I'm booking right now for the month of August. All right, one more Brazilian to book here. Who's it going to be? Almeida. He's on a losing streak. Someone who's coming off a win, preferably. Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo versus Muniz, maybe? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I like that. Two Brazilians, both on winning streaks, going at it. All right. So let's see. Fajeda Grant can stay up there. Lee Porto's a little bit more important than these two. And then that flyweight fight. Yeah, I can go over that. That's fine. Stamen. That's okay. The Mirandin fight. That's fine like that. The Warley Alves fight. Like that. Like that. And then that can stay down there. All right, cool. So we have our entire month of August booked. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Saturday, week 1, August 2020, UFC on ESPN Fight Night, Ozdemir versus Gustafsson. Main event, of course, Ozdemir and Gustafsson going at it. You can take a look at the rest of the card there. There are your prelims, a majority of them, all of them as a matter of fact, featuring one Polish fighter. Woodley won his title back in my save. That's cool. Woodley got injured in mine, so he's out for a year, so I don't have anything to do with him right now. Which sucks. But, I mean, hasn't fought for a year in real life anyways, so. UFC 252, our first international pay-per-view in London. Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje is the main event. Valentina Shevchenko faces Joanne Calderwood, defending her flyweight title. That is the co-main event. Paige Van Zant versus Molly McCann. Jakashi versus Ray. And Darren Till versus Jacare Sosa. You can see all 10 of the prelims there, all featuring either ranked fighters or fighters of UK descent. All right. Next, we go to Mexico. UFC on ESPN Plus, Fight Night, Esparza versus Gadella 2. Main event, Carla Esparza versus Claudia Gadella, because apparently the Mexican crowd would rather see Carla Esparza than Dominic Cruz, who's in the co-main event against Kevin Lee. How many people have I signed? Now, signed, it's quite a lot. I can go through the news and actually show you how many people I've signed. But the signings isn't necessarily what necessarily matters. It's kind of just booking the fights. But I can show you how many people I've signed. And we can go through the recommended hires and look for people, but I'm not necessarily going to hire people just because they have good records. I want to see what they've been up to. I want to see the kind of competition they've been fighting against. If they've won like regional championships and stuff like that, that always shows pretty well for them. If they've won some sort of championship, you know. Dominic Cruz, Kevin Lee, Grasso, Rebus, Barzola, DeFreitas. And then here are the rest of the prelims for that fight card. Featured prelim is Brock Weaver and Alvaro Herrera. All right. And then on Saturday, week 4, it's UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. So Israel Adesanya defending his title against Paulo Costa in the main events. Amanda Nunes will be defending the women's bantamweight championship against it's against sorry, crap. I keep forgetting her name. It's against Aspen Ladd. And then Thiago Santos will be fighting Shogun Rua. He just got to recover from his last fight. Leonardo Santos versus Stun Gun Kim. And then Moicano will face Benil Dariush on the main card. And you can go ahead and take a look at the prelims there. Literally every single fight here features at least one Brazilian. So you love to see it. So that is the entirety of August booked up here. A lot more to come, of course. We still need the Jones fight. We still need well, I was gonna say Adesanya, but let's see who else we haven't booked as far as champions. So it's Jones Blahovic, so that will be definitely in the next pay-per-view. Let's see, is that it? And then we have Figueiredo Benavidez happening soon. Obviously, we need the featherweight championship to be defended at some point. Felicia Spencer is the number one contender. And then aside from that, Zhang. Zhang needs to defend her title, and that will be against Rose Namajunas. But for Zhang, I might have a card in China where she defends that against Rose, just to see, because I don't know if China is actually name value. Yeah, because it's just Asia. She's mid-level regional, but she's better off in the United States anyways. She's high-level regional in the United States. So if I were to do anything with her, it would probably be in the same place as the Jones fight. So that might be kind of a double title fight that I do there between Jones and Weili Zhang, just to kind of add to it, you know? So I think that's what I might end up doing for UFC 254 is Zhang versus Rose and Jones versus Blahovic. All right. So that's all of August booked up. 4 fight cards fully booked, and you guys are able to see it. I know this is kind of one of the more boring episodes, but if you're into this thing, this might actually be one of the more interesting episodes for you, just so you can see what the future of the save holds. Obviously, the next time that I see you guys, it's going to be for UFC on ESPN Plus Fight Night, Poirier versus Hooker. So that's going to be the next fight card that I'm going to be seeing you guys for. It's going to be live right here in my hometown of Arizona. And so I'm glad that I'm going to be able to bring that for you guys pretty soon. So this is actually going to end the stream and the episode here. So I will see you guys in the next episode. AZ Plow 21 signing off. And I'll be sure to upload this pretty soon. Have a good rest of your night. And, I did actually mention that I would show you the rest of the people that I signed. So let's go take a look at that really, really quick. So news. Company. UFC. News type. Hiring. Okay. So these are all the people that I've newly hired, because if they extended their contract, it would just say extends contract. So as you can see, from the beginning, you can take a look at all of these that I've signed. You can pause, take a look at any of the names, but I've signed quite a lot. And I did not even realize how many it was. But I mean, if we skip to the end here, you can see that since the beginning of this save, I have signed 156 new fighters. And I think I've only released like maybe 5 or 6 since I've started. So that's like an additional 150 fighters that I've signed. So that's pretty exciting. A lot more fighters to get going here. Obviously, we'll be releasing people as they lose fights throughout the rest of the save. But hey, it's a good start. And we can take a look also at the recommended hires, see if there's any hidden gems, you know. But I basically found everyone already that I kind of want. Like, Mark Hunt, but I don't necessarily really want him, even though he would be a pretty good get. 46 years old, just someone to, you know, have one last fight, get a little bit more out of that popularity. I mean, you know what? Why not? Let's go. Ooh, you know, actually, he doesn't want to talk with us, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. So no one at heavyweights. No one at light heavyweights. Let's see here. Middleweight. There's this guy, 14-2, but I think he's coming off a loss. Other than that, there's really not anybody that I need to sign right now. Let's take a look at this guy. He's coming off a win over CB Dalloway, so he actually hasn't been around for a while. His last fight was in the UFC, so you know what? Let's go and bring him in too. Khalid Murtazaliev. Okay. Let's see, at welterweight. See, this guy Nardiev, we tried to sign him, but he wants to stick with his contracts. And I'm not going to just go out of my way to try to sign him. Ryan LaFleur, he's a little bit too old. Same thing with Saunders. Theos Christakis, I'd like to see a little bit more out of him. Let's see if we can try to bring this guy in, because I really would like him. But I think let's try giving him 5K, see if that does anything for him. And he doesn't want to sign a contract because he already signed one. So that sucks, but we'll probably see him in a couple years anyways. This guy, same thing. I don't know about that guy. I don't think I need him yet. Jason High is a little bit too old for me right now. Let's see. Anyone? Jason Knight, don't need him. He's doing bare knuckle boxing right now. See, everyone that I would want already, kind of already have. I mean, Horiguchi, but he's in Ryzen and he is already refusing to talk to me. Manny Bermudez, I think he already has a contract. Yeah. So yeah, all these guys basically can't really talk to necessarily right now. Flyweight Showtime, I think he already has a contract. He does. Ben 10 Wen already has a contract. Ooh, what about Ulan Bekov? Does he have a contract? He does. No, featherweights, I'm not really liking necessarily anybody. And anybody that I would sign from featherweights, they would need to come up like immediately. So I'm not liking any of these records necessarily. They're not really worthy of having up on the main show as far as the UFC. Let me take a look at Invicta's featherweight division, though. Invicta search. Current weight class is featherweight. See, they only have a couple, too. 3-5, 1-1, 10-10-1, 5-7, 1-2, 3-7, 8-3. So she's the champion, but her stats necessarily aren't the best. Peggy Morgan 4-4, and then 2-2. Yikes. But I mean, Pam Sorensen's the best out of all of them. So it would make sense to probably bring her up. She's number 7 featherweight in the world. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring up Pam Sorensen. We'll go ahead and do that. Cool. Okay. And so on that note, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'm pretty sure it's been about an hour and a half to 2 hours that I've been doing this episode, but I'm glad you guys stuck around if you did. AZPlayer21 signing off. I'll see you guys later for UFC on ESPN Plus Fight Night, Poirier versus Hooker. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night.